My name is Tereza and I am a Pinterest specialist. And as you can imagine, I'm here to talk about Pinterest. So first and foremost, I'm from Brazil, if you're wondering where is the accent from. So I don't want you thinking, where is that accent from? Through this presentation, I want you to listen to what I'm saying, take notes, and feel free if you need to tag me later, ask me questions. It will be a pleasure. So without further ado, I don't have to go in and convince you why Pinterest is the platform to be. And even as mentioned in a recent article published by Influensive, in which I had the privilege to, have a snippet along other amazing marketers and experts, Pinterest is the blue ocean for 2020. And the reason is, even though the platform has been around since 2010, it's a very misunderstood platform, and not all marketers and businesses actually know how to use it. And it seems daunting, it feels daunting, and this is not a talk about how to start from the beginning. We do have a training in SMU that covers that. But what I want to talk about is another important aspect. This is a platform that's always evolving and always changing. Pinterest is always doing something on the back end. To be honest, when we say, oh, I'm not getting views or clicks because of the algorithm changes, well, you shouldn't be saying that, because the algorithm is always changing. So no matter what, whatever you're doing, they're always changing in the back. So things that are very important to consider, and this is the first thing that anyone needs to take from this meeting, especially if you are a social media manager, especially if you're a marketer, understand that Pinterest is unlike other social platforms. And the first reason is Pinterest is not social. Pinterest is a visual search engine. Pinterest is here for people to search and discover. People go to the platform to plan and dream, discover, try new things, test new things, and ultimately buy new things. So nobody's in the platform to see what someone was wearing last week, where did someone go last week, or how does someone's house or kids look like. If you think about how Pinterest users use the platform, the scroll is happening in the end of the day when kids are in bed and you just want to chill. The scroll is happening in the, waiting for the kids at school pickup, in the bus, in the train to work, even, waiting in line for something. And that's when the scroll is happening. And we are using Pinterest not to connect with people. Yes, you can engage, you can connect, you can share, you can create together, you can collaborate, but no, we are not there to create the same social connections that we do in Facebook or Instagram, or even if it's the case, for the kids, Snapchat or else. You could say that Pinterest is closer to YouTube than closer to Instagram and Facebook. Now, considering that it is a search and discovery platform, the main thing to think about is keywords. And when I say keywords, some people will say, oh, it's Pinterest SEO. Well, you could kind of call it that way, but it's not. Pinterest keywords or Pinterest SEO is different than Google SEO, but there are a lot of similarities and both dance very well. That's why when you search something on Google, most of the time you're going to end up seeing links that will send you to Pinterest because the content is there. So once you get that part, we're going to move forward. We're going to also remember that since Pinterest is different, since people are not on the platform to socialize, to make friends, that makes a difference on the way you display your content, in the way you create your pin images, in the way that you create your descriptions, your board names, the way you create your pin titles. Because yes, we're going to use call to actions on Pinterest, but the call to action there is, you have to tweak. You have to make your content work for each and every platform. The same way that you cannot expect to create a Facebook ad and use that creative and that copy to run a YouTube ad, the same happens with organic. You know, what works on Facebook, what works on Instagram, what works on LinkedIn, what works on YouTube does not necessarily work on Pinterest, because that's not what people want. The same way that, you know, we are going to we're going to engage on Pinterest with something that catches our eyes. You know, the eye contact is so important. We want to make connections, and even also we want to use images that are uncurated, that are not perfect, they're, you know, no makeup, no nothing. They may work well on a social platform that's craving for real human interaction, but that's not going to work on Pinterest. People are not craving human interaction. Actually, Pinterest is the introvert's platform. People are there to get away from the noise. And in that matter, Pinterest works really, really well. Because when we are pinning, we are dreaming, we are planning. We are planning our home, our vacation, a baby shower, a wedding, a birthday party, even your home office. You are not there to see how XYZ, you know, have their office. We want to see the offices that they have and have ideas from that. But we don't care whose office is that. We don't care, you know, we would love to see like, hey, let's see Rachel Pedersen's office and have some ideas. But when you go to Pinterest, you don't go search for her. You search for office decor, home office. And then you may stumble upon her and you may end up liking and following or not. So this is number one. Another thing that we need to also keep in mind, I'm not saying that's number one or not, but there are just so many things, so many aspects that make Pinterest so unique and so amazing at the same time. So we, you know, curated images work for Pinterest. And I don't mean curated in the aspect like, you know, the stock images that are so basic and everybody does, you know, very tasteless, you know, white background, people doing the little smiley face, showing the product. No, you know, we want to use lifestyle images, but high quality images that show, how can I say, show lifestyle. If you're running an account for a product, you don't only want to show the product by itself. You want to show the product, how it's used on real life. How do you, if it's a piece of decor, how does it sit, you know, on the decoration, on the shelf? So different things that we can go on and, you know, and understand why certain things work and certain things don't work. So this is important, but stay away from the very spammy looking, or I would even say cheap looking. When I say cheap looking, I don't mean something that costs cheap, okay? Because something could cost very little or free and be amazing. But I mean something that looks spammy, that looks old school marketing, you know. We all know, as social media marketers, as content creators, we know the differences of, you know, something that looks like, okay, this looks better, this looks high end, this looks interesting, and this just looks dirty cheap. So we don't want to go that way. When you're using Pinterest, the audience that you're going to be hitting is a cold audience. People are searching for solutions. They're searching for answers. They're searching for products. They're not searching for brand names. Most of the searches on Pinterest are unbranded, which means, yes, people may go in and look for Target, but they are most likely searching for example, you know, how can I say, like home office decor ideas or home office boards, leather boards. They're not looking for something specific from a certain brand. And this is amazing because it gives opportunity to all of our clients to be in the platform. All the content creators do have a chance to shine, even if their brand is brand new, even if they're starting something right now, or if it is something that's already established. So this makes the platform unique and different. When you use Pinterest, you want to nurture the audience. And a lot of times we see, for example, bounce rates. Bounce rates are high in the platform. And the reason is Pinterest users, they are there to consume a piece of content. They are there to consume a solution They're there to consume an idea or an answer to whatever it is that they're looking. They are not there to just follow and interact and engage. So they will search, your content will show up, and if it's interesting and engaging enough, and if it answers what they're asking, they will click on it. They will go to your website and or landing page, and there they will take an action or not. Well, you could consider the not taking action as an action as well. So they could just go in, glance quickly, or watch, click quickly, or even say, hey, this is not exactly what I want, and bounce. Or they can just stay there and say, hey, you know what, this is kind of interesting, and I want to know more about this. And they will peruse around, they will look at your website, they may sign up for your opt-in, they may even eventually purchase something that you're selling. But keep in mind that they are coming in cold. So your URL, your website, your landing page has the responsibility of grab their attention and keep them. Because Pinterest is a tool. Pinterest will not guarantee your sales. Pinterest will not guarantee your business growth. Pinterest is a tool to bring your business in front of the right eyes. And I say the right eyes because the eyes of people who are looking to what you are offering. When we are posting something on Facebook and even Facebook ads, yes, you are targeting your audience, you are targeting the interests, but people are not going on Facebook to search for home office decor. They are there to engage with their friends, their family, to check on the news, to watch some videos, to just kill some time. And then eventually they stumble upon that content that you're paying for, which may be home office decor. But when you have your content on Pinterest, people are already searching for that home office decor, which makes it completely different. So it makes a difference understanding this and why it works in a different way. So when you, for example, let's change the example a little, and this is important because a lot of us here are working for mentors, for coaches, or even we are selling our own courses, our own services. When you are selling your course, your service, the best way to use Pinterest as a tool for you is through an opt-in. Yes, if you just throw a pin that will send straight to your course sign up, or straight to your product or to your service, or straight to your $997 course, you never know. You are throwing the bait. Maybe someone will take your offer, someone who is ready, but chances are it's not going to happen, and it's not going to happen a lot or often. So the best way will be using Pinterest to get the audience to sign up for your email list. And we all know how important that is. So you're going to create content that will solve a problem through your freebie or through your free video, or maybe you could try your free consultation, but might be a little too soon. Because remember, pinners are just scrolling, or they're searching for something, or they want to know something, and they might not be ready for the full commitment, and they might be ready to give their email, and then it's your job to nurture them and prime them and bring your offer gradually, so that eventually they will say, yes, I want you. I want what you're offering. You are giving me what I need. But that may take time and nurturing. Just like any other social media platform, Pinterest is not a one-night stand. It's not a quick date. It might not be only a first and second date. It's more of a long-term relationship. It's more of a marriage. So you're going to get into Pinterest. You're going to share your amazing content. You're going to help people with solutions. You're going to give a lot. And then you're going to start reaping the benefits. And Pinterest users are smart. They know what's going on. They may not know how to follow, and that's one of the reasons why growing your following Pinterest is something a little, not so easy, But that's not what we're after on Pinterest. We are not after the follow. We are after the clicks. We are after the conversions. The followers on Pinterest are just a part of the equation. Just like the impressions. We want to have high impressions. We want to look good. We want somebody to go in our account and see such a high follower, number. And actually, Pinterest is always changing things around how information is displayed. And recently, I've noticed that when you go on to the profile of an account, you don't see how many followers they have right away. They offer the button to follow, but they're not showing, they're not displaying how many followers. So this shows how Pinterest does not really care and doesn't want people to put high importance when it comes to followers. And the followers, as much as they look good and they are measured and you want to measure and you want to have people following, they do not play a huge role on success. So I've seen plenty of accounts by now. I've worked with famous names and brands. I've worked with someone who were just starting the blog, had just a few pieces of content, and we grew together. I've worked with different products. I've worked with lifestyle, with coaching, B2B, B2C. And I've seen it all. I've seen accounts, having a high number of clicks with a low number of impressions and a low number of followers. And I've seen accounts with a huge number of followers and getting nil, nada, or very little clicks. And of course, impressions as well. So again, I know I'm talking about a lot of stuff, and in the last minutes, I want to make a little summary so you can write down exactly what you should not forget about this. And again, feel free to reach out and ask questions. Another thing that when it comes to, for example, selling a course on Pinterest, and I did say that you probably are an offer, you may be able, even if a promoted pin, to sell a low ticket offer. But if you're trying to sell a higher ticket offer, it's not the best way to go. You're not going to get the best results unless you offer something free, get them in your email list, and nurture them from there. So that's how you can use Pinterest to monetize and sell your course and sell your products. It's by grabbing them. You could offer different things. You can checklists do really well. Steps, actionable steps. For me, for example, as a Pinterest specialist, I can easily offer a lot of value, like, 5 steps to audit your Pinterest account and use that as a freebie. It's something that I could sell, let's say, for about, $8, $10, but I can give it for free to get emails and get people into my funnel and then nurture them. And then after a while, I will sell something else, and then I will sell something bigger. And that's how you use. When it comes to driving traffic to other platforms, can you use Pinterest? Yes. Is it going to be effective? Maybe. It might not be usually effective. The best way, let's say, if you want to warm up your audience and sell in a group, and you want Pinterest to send, for example, for people to join your group, it might not work well right away. You need to get them into your website. And from there, you're going to send. That doesn't mean that if you create a pin that sends straight to your group, it's not going to work. It may work, but it most likely will not work. So this is something to think about. And in our line, social media managers, we probably see a lot. We have a lot of coaches, and they come to you like, hey, my mentor said that Pinterest is so amazing and I need to be on Pinterest. How can I do that? I cannot go without Pinterest. Well, yes, your mentor is right. But yes, there is a right way to do Pinterest. And the right way, which are, the right way to do, first of all, you never want to be spammy. You want to be cautious with anything that looks spammy in the platform. And that comes, from using spammy looking images to using images that do have a disconnect with your landing page or your account or your product. Pinterest will see that disconnect. And if Pinterest doesn't see that disconnect through Pinterest systems because Pinterest does crawl in the image and see everything what's going on. And Pinterest also crawls in the URL that you're sending the traffic to and see what's going on in order to serve better the audience. Pinterest final goal is to give the pinner the most amazing experience. It's not to sell your product. It's not to benefit the content creators. It's to benefit the Pinterest users. But Pinterest needs creators, because without creators, there is no Pinterest. So Pinterest kind of like, okay, creators, bring me your content. We send you traffic, so we have content to share and give our users an amazing experience. But that's why it's so important to think about the high quality of your images, of your product, of what you are offering, of your solutions. So you're gonna think about this, what you're offering. Always be ethical. There are certain topics that Pinterest will not accept, and anything that offers something, let's say a cure that hasn't been proven, that's not FDA approved, or anti-vax, or nudity. So there are many things you can go on Pinterest, and there are guidelines. Anything that breaks those guidelines is not acceptable in the platform, because Pinterest doesn't believe that those things provide a good Pinterest experience for the users. So you're gonna think about that. You're gonna think about the quality of what you're offering, about the quality of the images. Pin size is important, because if your pin is too small, people won't notice, but if your pin is too big, Pinterest will say, no, 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 you can't, we are gonna crop it for you. So ideal size by Pinterest is always 2x3, which could be the size that Canva gives you, could be 600 by 900, and it also works for video, because video in the platform is something that's growing, and Pinterest wants to see more and more video in the platform. So I always think about the 2x3. Quality on the website, the speed, the loading speed of your URL matters as well. So if you're seeing a lot of bounces, take a look at that. Connection between the image that you're pinning and what you have on your website. So don't throw a pin clickbait. Clickbait does not work well. If Pinterest doesn't figure it out soon enough, pinners will and may report. Also, you know, branded, you can use branded pins, but keep the brand to something small, logo, website, you know, don't make it like all about the brand. Again, it's not Instagram. People are not on Pinterest looking for selfies. Don't use a selfie. Do not use a selfie as a pin image unless you are teaching them how to take better selfies or something in that area. Okay, do not use it. So there are different things that you can use, and actually I could, you know, spend hours talking about this. I'm very, very passionate about Pinterest and the power of Pinterest. How Pinterest can help so many businesses and brands serve their audience, and then of course grow their traffic and income. So you are gonna think, remember, always do not forget this. Please, please, please don't forget this, because if you forget this, then this time that I spent here talking to you meant nothing. Pinterest is not social media. Yes, we can bundle in our, you know, our offer. Or even me, you know, if you go on my website, is Tereza Toledo Social, and my specialty is Pinterest. But that doesn't mean Pinterest is a social media platform. Pinterest is and will always be a visual search engine, and people are in the platform to search, discover, plan, and dream. Just, you know, to close that and make sure you understand that, and if you are offering this service and you're pitching, one thing that you can always tell your potential client, your lead, is how Pinterest works and how, you know, how the brand can benefit. Pinterest is not a quick fix. Pinterest does not happen overnight. It could happen overnight, but it does not most of the time. So let's say if we're talking about home office, let's bring the home office example again. And let's imagine this person wants to make some extra money. Could be, you know, this stay-at-home mom that wants to earn some extra income, and this mom is already on Pinterest and start searching for ways to make money. And eventually this mom decides to, like, hey, she wants to try copywriting, and she starts copywriting. And she is gonna, in the first, you know, encounter, in the first moment, she's gonna go ahead and save all this content about copywriting, about making money, or even about other ways to make money. On a second stage, this mom is gonna be like, okay, I took all the free stuff, I wanna look for something more intense. I wanna niche down, I wanna learn more, I wanna serve my audience. Eventually, that mom, and while this process happened, the mom is saving. The more that mom saves, the more Pinterest sees that this content is useful and serves to other people. Eventually, that mom is gonna be looking into other things like, okay, I need now to understand how to use Canva. I need to understand how to use WordPress. I need to have a website. And that mom is gonna be looking for website ideas. The mom is gonna be looking for tutorials and everything. And eventually, in the end of the journey, let's say 3, 4, 5 months down the road, the mom is going to be established. The mom has had clients. The mom joined SMU. The mom is writing, and the mom says, you know what? It's time to upgrade my office. I'm working from home. I'm tired of working in my kitchen and my laptop. And I have this part of the house that I want to make it amazing, so it inspires me. And that's when that mom is going to look into, you know, other ideas, office, and that mom may even like hit some links and buy a product. Now, through all this process, that mom signed up to opt-ins, that mom consumed courses, that mom learned how to do, that mom even may have, you know, like I said, joined SMU from Pinterest. And that's through all that journey that maybe took 6 months, took 1 year. And in that path, while that mom was saving, was clicking, was connecting, Pinterest was getting signals. Whatever this mom is using on Pinterest is valuable. And other pinners, especially pinners that have similar interests, because the content that she pinned hopefully is very keyworded content. So Pinterest knows exactly where to send that content, and it will be benefiting. Other people are also benefiting from that, or their brands are benefiting from that growth. And then eventually that mom is established and even move, you know, to a different level. Like, okay, now I have my own business. Now I can even get into the platform and share my content. So, you know, the Pinterest journey is not something simple. It's not something quick. It is, that's why it is a journey. So the way the user use the platform is to plan, is to grow, is to dream. It may be that this mom, while she was pregnant and she was looking for nursery items, this mom was already thinking, what am I gonna do when the baby is born? I wanna have a career. And in that time already, that mom was, you know, saving and reading and consuming. Maybe she wasn't buying yet courses or anything in that for that matter, but she was nurtured by this content. And hey, can you imagine how cool it is if in that moment she signed up to your course, you know, she joined your email list, and you had a chance to nurture her until it was time for her, you know, to say, hey, take my money, I believe you, I trust you, and I'm going to talk about you. So this is exactly what we want the platform to do. So again, Pinterest is a tool. If Pinterest is not gonna help if the client is desperate to make that sale either, if the client doesn't have a budget for Pinterest, if the client wants to sell Christmas products 2 weeks before Christmas, it's not gonna work. You know, be mindful, tell that to the client. Do yourself and the client a favor, you know, by being very transparent and very ethical on what can and cannot be achieved. But the client that's ready, the client that has content or is willing to work with you and share more content so you can put on the platform is your ideal client. And I guess my time is probably almost up. I believe this was a lot, so feel free to go back, take notes, ask me questions, connect with me. You know, it will be my pleasure to talk more about Pinterest. Thank you so much, Rachel. and the SMU team for giving me this opportunity. And it was a pleasure. Bye-bye.